This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Mastering the Interview Process. In this episode, titled Your First Impression, What Really Matters, we'll explore the key elements that shape those crucial first impressions in interviews. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or stepping into the interview world for the first time, let's dive in and uncover what really counts. Before you've said your name in an interview, your future boss may already feel like they know you. In the time it takes to walk from the waiting room to the chair, your posture, your clothes, and your face have started answering questions you haven't even heard yet. Here's the twist. Most candidates obsess over perfect answers to, "Tell me about yourself." But research shows the first 7 to 30 seconds often carry more weight than the next 30 minutes. Before you dive into your career stories, the interviewer has already made an initial call on 3 things. Can I trust this person? Do they seem competent? Do I actually want to work with them? Those snap judgments are crude, but they're not random. They're heavily shaped by small, controllable details most people treat as afterthoughts. How your clothes fit, how prepared you seem the moment they say your name, even how you manage the silence while you sit down. Think of this as the pre-interview interview, a hidden phase you're already being evaluated on, whether you prepare for it or not. In this episode, we'll turn that invisible stage into something you can deliberately design. Think about everything that happens before you ever touch a whiteboard or answer a single behavioral question. The recruiter scanning your resume for 7.4 seconds, the hiring manager glancing up as you enter, the first 30 words that come out of your mouth. Those moments are quiet, but they're not neutral. Your interviewer is already sorting you into mental buckets like pro or maybe later. In this episode, we're not chasing perfection. We're tightening the first 1% of your process that tilts the next 99%. Tiny upgrades here can silently upgrade every interview that follows. Here's where the science gets uncomfortably specific. In one study, people looked at a stranger's face for just 100 milliseconds and still produced trust and competence ratings that barely changed with more viewing time. That's how fast the baseline gets set. In interviews, that baseline isn't just a feeling. It becomes the quiet background track for everything that follows. Researchers have found something even trickier, the halo effect. If your early signals say, put together and confident, the interviewer is more likely to interpret later ambiguous answers as smart or thoughtful. If those signals say uncertain or sloppy, the same answer can read as vague or unprepared. That's the 25 to 35% swing you read about. It's not that interviewers stop listening, it's that what they hear gets filtered through probably strong or probably weak. Now layer on clothing, but not in the one-size-fits-all, dress formally way. Data shows navy and charcoal quietly nudge people toward professional ratings, but they're not magic colors. The deeper question is, does what I'm wearing fit the story this company tells about itself? A candidate in a sharp charcoal suit might look perfect at a bank and oddly stiff at a hoodie-heavy startup. Overdressing there can spark culture mismatch doubts before you've opened your laptop. Then there's your voice, the forgotten half of presence. Even when content is identical, a slightly slower pace, clear articulation, and a steady pitch lead to higher perceived intelligence and reliability. The first 30 words you say are doing double duty. They communicate information, "Thanks for having me, I've been looking forward to this." And they communicate capacity, "I can stay composed under mild stress." Treat this as design, not performance. You're not faking a new personality, you're removing static that keeps your real strengths from coming through. Think less, memorize a script, more, pre-decide the first 5% so I'm not improvising it under adrenaline. One useful mental model. Customize your opening settings the way you'd configure a new app. Default font, notifications, theme. You choose a stable base once, then make small tweaks for each context instead of reinventing yourself for every call, screen, or on-site. Think about the first 30 words you say as seed data for the whole conversation. If you start with scattered small talk and a half-whispered "hey," you're training the interviewer's brain to expect more of the same. Instead, you can deliberately front-load 3 signals. Clarity: "Hi, I'm Alex Chen." Relevance: "I've been excited to talk about how my background in X could support your work on Y." And warmth: "Thanks again for taking the time today." That's under 10 seconds, but it quietly answers, do they get why they're here? And will this be easy to follow? You can also calibrate your presence before you're called in. Set a pre-entry routine that takes 90 seconds. Stand up straight, take 2 slow breaths, review a one-line intention, show them how I solve problems with users in mind, and rehearse your opening sentence once in a normal speaking voice. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about making your default setting under stress look a lot more like how you are on your best days. 7 seconds with a recruiter can outweigh the next 45 minutes of your answers, and soon, those 7 seconds may be judged by code as much as by humans. As AI tools move from resume screening into video analysis, they'll start flagging patterns you barely notice: how long you pause before speaking, how often your gaze drifts from the camera, whether your speaking rhythm sounds confident compared to a training set. That's powerful and risky, useful for consistency, dangerous if the data behind it bakes in bias about accents, age, or appearance. Expect 2 parallel futures: regulators asking, on what basis did this system decide candidate A lacked executive presence? And candidates quietly using tech of their own. Think browser extensions that overlay a subtle grid to keep your eyes near the lens, or apps that highlight spikes in your speaking speed like a fitness tracker highlights your heart rate. Instead of guessing how you come across on screen, you'll be able to treat your presence like a dashboard: small tweaks, visible impact. Your challenge this week? Record a 60-second interview hello on your laptop or phone exactly as you'd start a real call. Then, play it back twice, first with the sound off, then with eyes closed, listening only to audio. Notice what future AI or a rushed recruiter might pick up in each mode, and adjust 1 visible habit and 1 vocal habit before your next opportunity. Those first seconds aren't a verdict. They're more like a starting balance in your credibility account. Each clear example, thoughtful pause, and honest admission deposits more. Even a shaky opening can recover if your later choices show consistency and judgment. Treat every interview as data: which version of you they met, and which one you want to bring next time. To go deeper, here are 3 next steps. 1. Watch Vanessa Van Edwards' TEDx talk, "You Are Contagious," and practice her eye triangle technique and open body stance in front of a mirror for 5 minutes. Then test it in your very next interaction today, even if it's just at a coffee shop. 2. Take the free Purpose of Presence or First Impressions quiz on the Science of People website and use your results to choose one behavior to experiment with this week, like leading with a warmth signal, genuine smile plus head tilt, or a competence signal, firm vertical handshake. 3. Grab a friend and record a 60-second mock first meeting on your phone, then replay it while following along with Amy Cuddy's TED Talk, "Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are," pausing to adjust posture, gestures, and vocal tone exactly as she demonstrates. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!